Can we do like a updates and random episode?
Sure.
Because that's all I got. But I do have an update. I wanted to include this last week and I forgot. Okay, I do have an update. I do want to make an apology about something I said regarding who I see at the gas station in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned two groups of people. And one was smokers. They go to the gas station, they walk in the store, and they get their cigarettes in the morning. And the other group of people I said I see there is Mexican lawn care / other tradesmen workers. Now, I need to be clear about what I mean about that. Because we've established on this episode, on this podcast, that we're scientists. You know, when we saw that lady with large breasts at the comedy show.
I just forgot about that update.
When we saw the lady with large breasts, we weren't taken aback by the breasts themselves for any kind of untoward purposes. We made note of them because we're scientists.
Yeah, we're like Lewis and Clark journaling on our way across the Rocky Mountains.
Yes,
We saw 2 large peaks and we had to journal about it.
I'm in the Galapagos studying beak size. That's what's happening here. And when we notice
sea-dwelling iguanas.
Okay. And side update. Did we find out that the lady with the
kickball
augmentation, were we able to actually, we didn't locate her
here's
because
the update.
I don't want it to sound like
here's the update.
We went on a search.
I follow a restaurant in Tacoma.
It was sort of like Lewis and Clark because
it was
just
in the
to
wild.
it.
Yeah, it was in the wild. I follow a restaurant. They shared on their story because they just opened people at their restaurant, people's posts, and one of the people's posts was Kickball Girl. And instantly I was like, oh! like I saw Bigfoot or something.
Like you would if you were somebody painting a picture of Lewis and Clark. You'd point your finger out like that.
Oh, yeah.
Will just made that pose.
I was like, oh, Bigfoot.
And
there's the Pacific Ocean.
Exactly.
And so then I clicked on a page.
We were able to do some recon and see, yes, it was such that this lady had lost a bunch of weight.
It was like
Good
over 130 pounds or something.
It was like 153 or something like that.
Yeah, I think there was a 3 in there, yeah. Definitely over 100 pounds.
And so good for her and good for us because we're scientists. And so when I made mention of who I see at the gas station in the morning, that's what I was doing. I was being a scientist. I'm a sociologist.
Those are the facts.
I'm studying the interactions. I'm saying, like, if somebody asks me, like you listeners, you are by proxy axing me. And if you said, what kind of groups of people do you see there? I was just answering that question. Am I making a broad generalization? Yes. Can I say generalization? No. But that is a generalization I made. Are there white tradesmen there in the morning? Yes. Mm-hmm. But those white tradesmen happen to also be smokers. So I lump them in, to tradesmen, to smoker section. Mm-hmm. And once all these smokers got weeded out, the people who are left are Mexican or Hispanic, Latinx, Latino. What other ones? That's it.
All the ones we want to say.
That's all the good ones.
Yeah.
That's all the positive ones. And so those are the people I see in the morning. But if in me saying that your feelings were hurt because you're a sensitive soul and that mattered to you, even though I do want to acknowledge a mistake I made.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came on this podcast and I'm giving this update to say sorry for what I said.
What'd you say?
It's not what I said, it's what I didn't say,
Mm-hmm.
actually. And there is another group of people at the gas station in the morning. It's lottery players.
Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, so it's smokers, lawn care workers, and lottery players. Because they have those big machines, you know? You just touch the button.
Oh, yeah. They're in there scanning their
Yeah,
tickets.
they got to scan their tickets. They buy their Diet Cokes and they get their, you know, then they play their $60 in the machine.
Yeah.
And then they scan it right there.
Yeah.
The scratchers.
Oh, they just scan the scratch.
I hate when people call them scratchers, not scratch tickets. Scratchers.
Yeah, that
I don't
seems
know why
weird.
that sounds funny.
That does seem weird.
So, anyways, I just want to give a quick update. If you had any problem with what I said on that episode, a couple episodes ago, if anything made you facepalm,
Facepalm emoji.
then I want to say I'm sorry because I did leave out lottery workers. Lottery workers? No. Lottery players.
Yes.
Those are the people. And you get some randos like me, but that's not a category. Sorry to categorize. People got to categorize.
Yeah, you're just a scientist. You're just a regular old...
I'm a scientist.
You're a regular old Yuval Harari.
I am. Okay, I gotta ask you a question.
Hit me.
I consider you a manlier person than I am. Do you think you agree with that?
In terms of the world's idea of manliness, absolutely.
Do you have another idea of where I am more equal to you?
Yeah, and the more like family stuff.
In the more of do you have a penis or not?
Oh, that stuff.
If that
let's compare. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
It was either or.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Either or. In terms of either or, yes.
In terms of science, yes.
Yes. And so, anyways,
What's the question?
is this a power move? This is what I said to a guy. Now I was just joshing around.
Yeah.
But this is what I got a dryer on Facebook. Not the free Facebook, just the buy and sell, whatever.
Yeah. Buy, sell, trade.
You were going to help me pick it up
I was.
this night. But he wanted to get it out of his house because they wanted to get one that was matching. So obviously they have money when you can pay for the matching one.
Mm-hmm.
When you take a perfectly good dryer and you get rid of it because you want one that matches, you have money. But we were supposed to pick it up at his
dryer money.
we were supposed to pick it up at his house.
I wish I didn't take it a drink because I wish I would have said money laundering. Hey yo.
But then he decided, I'm going to come to your house. I got to get this out of my house. It looks too ugly. You know, it's a white square. Ew. So
it's probably a cube though.
So he shows up and he has the military. He's got military paraphernalia
badges
on his. He's got the U.S. Navy around his license plate, on his 4Runner. Or no, wasn't it? What? Yeah, maybe it was. No, it wasn't.
SUV.
He had a nice
Toyota.
He had a nice little He had a nice little flat, but I think it was the family one. He had a nice little flatbed, little trailer, a small one.
Yeah.
And he shows up, and here's the deal, though. Here's the deal, man. All I can do is look at the outside. it has a different plug on it because they have a 4-prong versus a 3-prong. It's a different
Easily exchanged.
Easily exchanged. I did it myself. But so it's like I can't plug it in. And what am I going to take the other one out? I'm not ready.
So he's kind of forcing it on you.
No, I mean, I'm buying it. But he goes, do you want to check it out? And I'm like, and I go, what can I do?
What am I, a dryer mechanic?
I mean, that's what I can say. I literally said this out loud. I'm like, what can I do besides look at it?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I guess so. I said, this is my power move.
He said, does it work?
No, I said, if it doesn't work, I know where you live. I'll just toss it in your yard.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he goes, do you want to check it out? I said, well, what can I do? If it doesn't work, I'll just drive by your house and toss it in your yard. And for like half a second, because I mean, we don't know each other. He's just dropping it off at my house. And I'm just a guy with long hair. So then I got, weird. But he is like, but then I realized this too. I don't know what part of the Navy he was in. I mean, I don't want to disparage. I don't know who listens, but I don't know. If you're can you just be like a cook or something? Because he was a big fat guy.
Yes.
And let's say, I'm not saying all big fat guys are chefs because I know a lot of chefs. I might be one myself.
Anthony Bourdain wasn't fat.
So there's lots of issues at play. We have to do more scientific research. We're the perfect people for that. But also, let's make a generalization. A big fat guy steps out of the car. I see U.S. Navy and other military stuff on the thing. I'm like, in my head, wait a second. This guy, so I'm trying to match his manliness,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, this guy could have just been a freaking line cook.
Yeah.
He could have been
pencil sharpener.
I mean, yeah. So
janitor.
But for half a second, he had like a look in his eye, like, "Are you serious or not serious?" But it was obvious I was making a joke, and then I tried to make small talk, which is like the worst thing in the world.
For you specifically, or?
Well, and in that moment, it's like, we're both two guys. He's like, hey, I just want to drop this off.
See each other again.
I just want to get your money. I just want you to put this thing in my garage. It's like, it could be 5 seconds, but I feel like it should be more because it's like awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, man, I missed my truck. That's all I said, basically.
Wait, how are we going to get it?
I have truck people.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. I don't know. I miss my truck.
I do. I miss my truck. But was that a power move? Was that manly enough?
That was a good move. Because also, like, it is something you could legitimately do. It wasn't so much of a joke that it's like, not realistic. You actually could do that.
Yeah.
So it was a good like slight.
It's not that scary of a thing. It's like, it's not like me saying like, hey, if this doesn't work, you see your daughter here who's with you dropping me off, this teenager, I'm going to sneak into her bedroom. I'm going to tie her up. And I don't know why I tie her up before I murdered her, but I would.
BTK.
Just to let you know that I could. That's how long I was in here. I tied her up first. I didn't say anything like that.
Yeah.
I was just throw it in your yard. I mean, throw it. That's not that big a deal.
And you were kind of like saying that you can throw a dryer, which is like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
And I was wearing my Prindle Farm merch.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's
so,
like, oh, this guy farms.
So he's sort of thinking like, oh, what's under that sweatshirt?
Mm-hmm.
I could have rippling abs,
Yeah, he could be like Dwayne The Rock Johnson or something underneath.
He could be like, does that guy have a stomach or does he have those abs that stick out really far?
Oh, like
when they have like the steroid abs?
The world's strongest man's ab stomach?
No, not ab stomach. Like when your abs stick out further than your chest?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
But it's not a stomach, it's just...
I'm talking like Thor Bjornsson.
No, I'm talking like weird Sylvester Stallone. When you have like weird sticking out abs.
Yeah.
Jamie, pull that up.
Stop talking, James.
Anyway, that was my power move I pulled this week. I didn't mean for it to be a power move. I was just kind of joking around with the guy because
That's a good move.
He seemed kind of jovial.
You know,
but then I was like,
the person to ask could be the move on Instagram.
oh yeah,
Send it in and say, you know, buying something on Facebook. Tell them if it doesn't work out, you're just going to throw it in their yard.
Good idea.
I can send it to him. We have a slight rapport.
Oh, you know what? We need to do a minute or two on is our meeting, our dinner that we had.
Sure.
I'll just ask between you and I won't.
But one of the things I sent the could be the move guy. I said, if you're single but you're tired of all the usual fish in your sea, drive to a really nice neighborhood, park your car, and set your dating app radius to 1 mile. And then I also sent him the cross-face sunglasses removal. For example, David Bowie in Zoolander. He grabs his glasses like this, cross-face, and pulls them off. And that's when he judges the walk-off or whatever. He goes, could I be of assistance?
That could be the move.
So we'll ask him about the dryer throwing, and we'll get an update.
Okay, so Will.
Oh, here's another good one. Jesus and his boys, aka that Last Supper. It says, all the boys on one side of the table could be the move.
That's a power move. See, that's a power move. Ask for a table for 26. Why? Because we all want to sit on one side.
Exactly.
Power move. We don't have room for 20. We're going to feed 26 people. Do you know how hard it is to put all this?
Automatic gratuity.
We're all sitting on one side.
Is it I, Lord?
Is it I? And callback last episode. And speaking of Prindle Ridge Farm, this is a quick hitter.
Killed the chickens today.
Gigantic news coming out of the Instagram world. Our friend, I was going to say friends, yes, but also this singular person. Gigantic news. It is no longer Prindle.Ridge.Farm.
What? I didn't notice that. What? Hold the phone. Back.
It is now Prindle.Ridge.
Oh my gosh. Why?
I don't know. She said she was getting blocked somehow with the tagging. I don't know. She doesn't know if it's the farm. Well, she says it's the farm, but I'm like, there has to be other people with farm.
Oh, I can't reply to your comment.
Maybe it's the 2 dots. I don't know. She says it's the farm. I don't want to speak against her.
In order for Instagram to protect its users, because the word farm was in its name. I wore the sweatshirt today to work.
Dude, I wore it to intimidate a veteran.
Nice. I usually just throw poppets on the ground when I want to throw off a veteran.
Shout out our grandfather. Okay. Will.
And we're back.
Will and me went on a double date with Tammy and Lauren. Okay. Let me pause there.
It was to make
your impression.
It was to make up for not being able to make it to your birthdays.
Oh, yeah. It was just a hangout.
In my mind, it was to make up for not going to your birthdays, but also we had been trying to hang out for a long time.
It was the first time the 4 of us had hung out in a significant way, besides you two just stopping by our house.
Yeah. Surprise.
What was your general impression of the night? And I have an overarching thought of the night. Besides, it was just a fun night, but...
General impression, it was fun. It was good. I'm glad we got to do it. I felt like we all got along and all talked equally, and as opposed to just like you and I, or like, it was like the full four of us talking as opposed to any sort of like.
I noticed even Tammy and her spent time talking when we were talking, and I was like,
and you were like,
involve us.
You're like,
hello.
Up. Oh, shut up, woman. I hate it when women talk. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is interesting that you said that about the talking, because beyond the general thought, which was it was a fun, easy night, and it was just fun to hang out. I felt like it's always weird when somebody is the new person, because it's four of us, and obviously I want to get to know her more because she's dating you.
Right.
But I don't want to put her on the spot because she's the one of the four who doesn't know each other that well.
Right.
So then I felt like I went the opposite, and I tried to be like more like on.
And like she was just one of the crew.
Yeah, I tried to be like more on, because not what I really wanted to do, but part of what I wanted to do is be like, ask you this, ask you this, ask you this.
Right.
What's up with this? Who's your family? Who's your this? What did you think about this? How did you grow up?
20
How did
questions.
you?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just the first time hanging out, and it's just like, you don't want to put somebody on the spot because maybe they already feel uncomfortable somewhat, whatever. Feel like, especially in that situation, does she feel like she has to prove something, whatever. So I tried to just I feel like the best thing to do in that scenario is like, just try to keep the conversation going. I was like, not that I was that funny or am that funny, but it's just try to be funny, try to be light, try to just keep things moving along. Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Yeah, she said she liked our interaction. She thought it was funny and cute.
I think I don't know what she liked about the table, but I feel like she just liked us almost kissing at the end more than anything.
Right. And at the beginning.
She's a little freak.
I think we did that right when we got there. And then, it reminded me of when we used to do that at church to make people uncomfortable.
I forgot we used to do that all the time, but yeah.
Remember when we used to do the close talking?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's like you said, Tammy has known us forever. Even before you guys got married. Yeah. So it's like been whatever.
I hope so.
20 years.
Arranged marriage.
20 years of Tammy knowing us to some extent. And then, Lauren jumping into the mix.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was good. We had a great time. And I thought, it was chill enough. That it wasn't like the grilling questions or anything like that. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I like that Ruston area. Oh, yeah. It's a good hang.
Ruston Point. Now.
Point Ruston, but yeah.
Whatever. .com. Oh, here's something you brought up during that night that I think is interesting. Tammy said, like, oh, I remember coming down here. It wasn't all developed and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, it wasn't really sketch, but it was just a place where people hung out and there was nothing happening. It was just a place to go.
Well, that point area was nothing.
That's what I just said.
But there was still the restaurants on Ruston Ave Way or whatever.
Yeah.
And people walk up and down that
strip.
Yeah,
but where all that stuff is, nothing.
It was like a foundry or something before.
Here's the deal, man. You said, because then I said, I never came down here or anything. I never went anywhere. And then you said, we never went anywhere. And then, in my head, I was like, what do we do? And then you said, we didn't even go to Manchester State Park. And I've been thinking about that ever since. I've just been thinking about, what did we do? Because I was...
What do you do?
I was thinking like, I did youth group stuff, and
That's what we did. We were
I
at the church.
I lived at a good time of youth group where it was like a lot of people. It was like very diverse, so it was fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, weird Christian settlers of Catan around a old card table or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was like we had fun with each other. We played basketball. We hung out.
I remember one time there was 100 people on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. And this was like Friday and Saturday. Like we were always hanging out on the weekends, going to the lake when it, doing stuff like that. When it was like fun and it had like the energy of a bunch of people being there, not trying to force energy when there's, 10 people there and it's like, hey, isn't this fun? And in the back of everybody's head, it's like, kind of.
Yeah,
but
that's how it was for me too when I was there. The Long Lake and different things.
Yeah. So, but then I was thinking like,
but
what do we do?
family-wise,
because I work during the week. I didn't have anything on the weekend.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I did on the weekends. Nothing.
We hung
What
out.
did I do?
Hung out at home.
Somebody remind me.
We rode bikes in Banner Forest, which was behind our house. But that was like you and I. I built a fort in our woods. Yeah.
I don't
Rode
recall.
bikes.
We didn't do any. What? But that's the thing. You mentioned, which is accurate. What do we do as a family? Because we had our 1 or 2 vacations.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like weekend
what did we do?
we were just home. That was just hang out and like Dad would mow the lawn, work outside on Saturdays, and then Sundays go to church and then watch golf afterwards.
I do remember watching golf and or tennis.
And I was always so bored with that.
Well, I do love watching golf. I can't lie.
I can't, no. I don't like watching golf.
Love it. Update. Grandma gave me $15 at Target. I bought PGA Tour 2K21 or whatever it is.
Oh.
It's kind of weird because you can only play as a created character.
Yeah. So your stats suck?
No, my stats rock. I don't know. I just like the vibe of watching golf. It's just...
To me, I just fall asleep. I hate it.
It's weird because it's like I know the skill of it. Not saying you don't. But it's like I know the skill of it, so I can really get into like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like watching tennis. I'm not in it for the bot.
I'd rather watch tennis.
I'm not in it for the skirts flying up. Yeah. I can't tell you. I don't know how hard it is to do what they're doing. Although I did skip class a lot one semester and played tennis right outside the class I was supposed to be in.
At Northwest.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The tennis court was right outside the classroom. I skipped. But they didn't have an attendance policy. It was like
that was like my math class. No attendance, just turn in your homework on Fridays and take a quiz and you're good.
Exactly. So, anyways, but what did we do?
Dude, that's like so, I started hanging out with this family back in the day and they live right next to Manchester State Park. And I'm like, why have I like never been here? I've like hardly ever been to the Manchester area, Manchester Beach, the Manchester Grill right there, Family Grill, all that stuff. And it was like we never went downtown Port Orchard. We were always like up on the Sedgwick side between where we live, Long Lake, Sedgwick area, and the church. We didn't go like past the church.
No. Just a school, that was it.
Yeah. And so...
Down Mitchell.
Yep. So, yeah, we didn't do stuff. I feel like we're just at home.
So this is part of my analysis of our father. I mean, he doesn't have hobbies. He doesn't have things he wants to do. That's how I feel.
Yeah, he just gets like little projects. That's what I was saying. Like on Saturdays, I feel like he just did projects, and then Sunday was church and golf.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm never home now, like me now, currently. Between work and, like we talked about a couple episodes ago, like I'll go, do this and this and this and this and this, like fill up my day.
Yeah.
And I'm never home. But yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't. We were home, in my opinion. Trying to find something to do.
Yeah, it's hard looking back. Like, yeah, I mean, I remember riding the banners. Sometimes on the weekends, I'd hang out with the Pishoes when they lived over there.
Oh, yeah.
And I liked hanging out with them.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm older, there's like stuff going on with like, friends or people from the youth group or whatever, things like that. But in like the younger, can't drive stages, I was home.
Even when I could drive, I mean, my life was a little bit probably more locked down than most people's experience. But even, I just don't remember. It's like, even when I had a girlfriend or something, I wasn't like going over to her house, or we weren't going wherever and doing whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird.
It is weird.
It's weird to think back. Partly because I don't remember, and partly because obviously there wasn't stuff to remember.
Exactly. We'd remember.
Anyways, whatever.
When you were driving around as a 17-year-old.
It's a transition.
Why are you calling it out?
Sorry. You did a funny voice.
When you were driving around at the age of 17 to now,
Oh, that's a
you were
long
maybe
time. That's
hungry.
20 years.
Maybe hungry.
Maybe hungry. Okay.
You wanted some fast food. How did you decide which fast food you wanted?
Oh, I never ate fast food when I was 17.
Because you saw the backside of it at A&W.
No, not even. I didn't eat fast food until I started hanging out with Matt. I'm not even joking.
Why?
I don't know. Even in college, like a lot of times at night, we would go down to this Wendy's in Kirkland. And
Shout out Kirkland Instagram handle.
But even then, I never bought anything in college.
Didn't get a spicy chicken sandwich or anything?
No.
Frosty?
No, I didn't even get one of those square burgers.
Nugs?
No, I did not. I did not partake.
Shoot.
It just wasn't part of my life, It wasn't part of my... It's weird. That was even part of my habits. But until I started hanging out with Matt, and maybe because we did it after youth group and stuff.
The Wednesday night Burger King.
Yeah, until I started hanging out with Matt, I never ate fast food. But now, I mean, I still don't that much, but I do appreciate it.
Well, we already talked about Chick-fil-A, which has gone way back. I'm way back on the Chick-fil-A. Not twice a week anymore.
I don't know where you're going because my answers could be. It depends what I want to eat. Do I want to? I want to eat something on the way, or do I want to eat something that I think is the best?
Well, here's what I found the other day.
Think,
I was in Spokane trying to find somewhere to have brunch because I was there on a Sunday, and I'm like, it's Sunday, there's got to be brunch places.
Drive-through mimosas somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to be something. Bottomless mimosas somewhere. And so I was clicking on Yelp, become quite the Yelper as I've been working out of town to find places. And I thought I clicked on a restaurant, but I accidentally clicked on Jack in the Box. And I somehow clicked on Jack in the Box reviews.
Oh, pretty good breakfast.
Ultimate breakfast sandwich is my go-to.
They had a burrito something, but they changed it.
I feel like some people, and like this when I was in high school, they were all about those 99-cent tacos.
Oh, when, this would have been the same time when I was video game testing, and we had our lunch break, which was like whatever, that freaking
30 minutes or something.
12 p.m., 12 a.m. That was our lunch.
Yeah.
People would go for those 99-cent tacos. They had just come out. That probably would have been around the same time.
It's so disgusting.
Ugh.
To me. They're like deep fried they're more like a little empanada thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like all like the stoner kids liked them.
Not worth it.
And then all the fake stoner kids that were like popular but that couldn't be stoner kids but did drugs liked them. Anyway. So I found myself on
You yelping.
what I like to call fast food reviews. First off,
what I like to call, and also what they're called.
First off, anyone who sends a review in on Yelp already has an agenda,
Yeah, that's why I think, like, aren't those things, like, overly negative? Because if you like it, you just move on with your life.
Right, yeah.
And if you don't like it, then you're...
Or the ones that, like, that were a good review, they probably, like, got some, like, hey, leave a good review and we'll give you 10% off or something like that.
Yeah. Can't trust this
I
world.
discovered the amazingly entertaining world of fast food reviews.
Nice.
And what brings people to that world, like that platform. So recently there is a Jack in the Box on 4th Avenue, 1907 4th Avenue South, Seattle, Washington 98134, which is by my work, which at one point was the number one Jack in the Box in the country.
Oh, snap.
For, what do you think they were number one for?
Shootings.
Close.
Stabbings.
911 calls.
That was too specific.
Yeah. And so I said, let's look at these reviews. Here's one from yesterday. If I could give this place no stars, I would. I have never almost gotten into a fist fight with an employee for such blatant disrespect. I expressed that I felt it was ridiculous that I could not have shakes available at 11 p.m. in the summertime. I was promptly told to go F myself. I would have accepted a shrug or a BS response and I would have been okay with it.
That's awesome.
But can I get more politeness from the resident meth addict? But I can get more politeness from the resident meth addicts camped out in the parking lot. That was yesterday. 16 days ago, Loretta says, one can never complain about the price, but the lady at the window was rude, capitals. Perhaps hire people who actually want to work, not someone's hateful aunt that's bitter about her life. This woman should not be dealing directly with customers. Receipt said Maria.
Mary, mother of Jesus?
Maybe.
That's a Yelp review.
7 months ago,
Jesus.
Catherine, spelled Catharren. Catherine. I can't roll my R's like that. Catherine.
Wait, spell it again?
Cath. Cath. Like Death Cab for Kitty. Arren. Catharine. 1 star. Drive through to order some items for my great grandkids. I needed them.
Wow. Hold up. Pause. A great grandkid person is leaving Yelp reviews. I see that as like a win, maybe?
But, with the current state and the people that go to this Jack in the Box, the great grandma could probably be like 45.
Yeah.
Drive through to order some items.
Which, to me, a scientist, that's fine.
Hey, can you put in like the light piano music behind this or something?
Yeah.
Catherine F. 7 months ago, 1 star. Drive through to order some items for my great-grandkids. I needed them without condiments, and before I could finish the sentence, the boy listening to the order interrupted me. I asked him politely to please not interrupt me in the middle of a sentence. I was told I could not talk to him as if I was his mother. And was I now prepared to listen to him? Didn't say another word, and a woman came on the line to take the order. I ended up ordering half of what I wanted instead of all the items for everyone. Won't be bothered going back there. I called to place an order at the Shell station at the top of the hill on Beacon Hill.
An order?
To replace the rest of the burgers, and they had their catfish ready to go when I got there.
Gas station catfish?
You haven't been to the Shell station on Beacon Hill for the catfish? Let's look at the reviews for the Shell station. No, just kidding.
Wait, sorry. That was the great-grandmother lady?
Yep.
Still?
Yeah. That she had to go there to replace.
Okay, now I know she's a great-grandmother because she's getting catfish at the gas station.
Exactly.
Wow. Gas station catfish.
Yeah, Beacon Hill.
Speaking of reviews, you can review this podcast. You're not the only one who can transition here. I have also cut off my penis. No, I can also transition to the end of this podcast to let you know that you can review this podcast wherever you listen to it. If you listen to it on YouTube, a couple of you do. A couple of you find it easier to listen on YouTube, and the audio's there. There's no video, but there's audio, and you can give a thumbs up. You can subscribe. You can give a follow on Spotify. You can give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. It helps us in the rankings so we can overcome Joel Osteen. This is a religious podcast. Joel Osteen and Oprah. And we thank you for listening. This has been Bad Brothers Podcast. Port Orchard's finest podcast. I was waiting for you to say you have to pee.
Buy our shirts.
Buy our shirts.